Desire. What is that you truly desire? Some will say to become rich, some will say a long life, some will say a large, successful, full of name and fame life. Few gonna say to achieve their goals. But the reality is that human is full of desires and it never ends. When you fulfill your any desire, automatically you start craving for more. Today we will see few of them who truly desire for something and for its fulfillment. They are here in front of our horses to seek their investment. This is Horses Stable Pitch Season.
Good evening, horses. My name is Anuj Jain. I'm the CEO and founder of Tenant Verify. And we are basically looking for 1 crore funding for 35% equity.
How much?
35%.
35.
Yeah. Just to give you a heads up, like we have valued the company at 5.6 crores. And with half the valuation, we are asking for the funding with equity of 35%. So Tenant Verify is a process which is mandatory by law with Section 188 with the IPC code. But in India, if you look at 95% of the owners don't get their tenants verified because they'll have to go to the police station or the commission office to fill the form and submit. It's a time process work and a lot of hassles. So we have developed a product which is online, completely online, mobile app or web app. And we have partnered with the police. We have our team sitting out of the police station in the commission office, which takes in the data. So everything is online. There's nothing, by hand of this process. So every landlord has to register here free of cost. There's no charge for them. Once the tenant comes, he registers and he uploads documents and pays the fees. So basically the cost is on the tenant, not on the owner itself. So basically it's very highly expensive. If you go to any broker today, they charge you 2,500, 5,000 rupees depending on the area you're in. So our platform is user-friendly, very streamlined process, very simple. You can finish the process in maximum 2 minutes time. The real estate industry is expanding year to year, and also with that, rental is expanding. Every city has a lot of people coming from different states. Instead of buying, they are renting out places. Might be residential apartment, PG, right? And even commercial. So whenever you rent a place, it's mandatory for every owner to get their tenant verified. So we have the registration of the landlord, which is absolutely free of cost. All the brokers will register free of cost. Only the tenant will have to pay the fees, nobody else. So we charge an upfront fee from the tenant, which is a very small amount. And the verification is done online itself. Everything is available on the app. So once the verification is done, the police clearance certificate will come online to the owner, to the society, to the broker, and to the tenant. So basically, this is our strategy, what we are planning. There is nobody else who is doing this business today in India. There are a lot of companies who are doing background verification, and tenant verification is a part of it. But as a subject, nobody in India is doing today. If you go abroad, you go to US and other countries, it's a mandatory process there. It's mandatory here also, but nobody does it. So these are different ways of our marketing, basically online marketing, paper media marketing, talking to all the real estate agents, all the real estate websites, hoardings, radio ads. These are the way of our marketing right now what we're doing. In India right now, there are two companies, Hello Verify and Verify Direct, who are doing Tenant Verify as one of the products, but not specifically only Tenant Verify. We are the only company in India who is doing it. So this is the overall look of different countries where they have dedicated company who do tenant verification. So this is our revenue forecast. For the first year, we're looking at achieving almost 7 crore rupees as a revenue. And post that, every year we're looking at least doubling our revenue. We're asking 1 crore with 35% equity, out of which 20% will be used for development and maintenance of the product, 30% will be used for marketing, working capital, and 50% will be used for marketing. So we incorporated this company in 2019, 25th of April. We had done the trademark registration also. Android and web app is available. iOS is under development. There's some issue with Apple, so it will be clarified. So it's completely online right now. So this is our mission and vision of our company. This is a small team I have right now. It's me, Mohammad Akmal, Garima Jain, Ankuj, Ankit, and Dinesh Jain. Dinesh handles our technology, complete technology. That's what it is.
Anuj, what is your background?
I am from IT, also BPO background. Been in this from 22 years now. Started the first BPO of Rajasthan, outreach. I sold that. Then I joined Hexaware as a global head business development. Left that, started another company called Reach Out in Bangalore. Sold that. Joined Genesis as a global head business development. Left that, joined as CEO for a vast company for Israel. Left that, and now I'm completely with this.
Okay. And I mean, considering that you guys are, very early, since the product is still not out there per se.
We are planning to launch on the 1st of October. That's our plan to launch.
Right.
Yes.
So what is the evidence?
We have evidence now. Recently, Mohali, there was a raid. 1,200 owners were booked. Pune, there was a raid. So there are raids happening in every part of the country now. Police only wakes up when there's any terrorist activity or any criminal activity. So our job is to educate the owner first that it is mandatory for him to make sure every tenant he has, he gets them verified.
It's a fantastic idea.
Correct.
We're not disputing it. I'm just disputing the fact that the landlords are not changing the mindset unless the government probably makes it
Mandates
very,
it,
very
you think,
stringent.
yeah.
That's one point. Second point is, how are you going to tie up with all the police stations within a locality? There are 2 or 3 area-wise police stations.
Correct.
So how are you going to tie up with them, and what's your end with them that they will give you a certification to you? Do you have a tie-up with this police
Yes.
scheme?
So I'm tied with the Commissioner of Police, not with any local police station.
Okay.
All I deal with the Commissioner of Police.
Okay.
So we'll remove the data and give it to the police department. Because our platform is not linked
What
with
authority, the commissioner given authority to place the people there?
Yeah. Mr. Bhaskar was giving me authority, yes.
Okay, and they will give you certification after how
They'll give me certificate in 10 days. And the certificate you get here is dedicated mentioning that Anuj Jain, tenant of so-and-so, has no criminal record. Okay, that's a certificate.
I have a thought here.
Yeah.
Because, like they're saying, it requires some kind of change in behavior. It's a consumer behavior with the landlords.
Correct.
They need to change their thinking.
Absolutely.
One way to do it probably can be worth trying is there are all these apartments in societies.
I've only done that, sir. I've gone to apartments. We are giving the login.
Right.
One apartment has a login. He has all the flats details there. The owner has to register himself. He gets the OTP.
So what you ask is you tell the association there to make it compulsory.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing.
So you, at a lot, you get that entire apartment, and that's a recurring revenue every time.
That's
a tenant
exactly I'm
comes.
doing the 1st of October. I
All
have
right.
almost 12,000 owner registering on that day.
All right.
And 4,800 tenants.
Okay.
So exactly what I'm doing to start my business.
So, can I ask something? Why do you need the owners to register?
See, owner has to give us details. First of all, there are a lot of owners who are not actually the owners also. Now let's take
So
this
that's okay,
away.
but you are verifying tenant, you are not verifying ownership.
I am. When the owner submits his details, he has to give me electricity. There are specific documents. The owner has to give me electricity bill, which is the name of the owner or the apartment or the house. So those documents are mandatory from the owner.
Why will the owners come and give you that?
They will have to give. It's mandatory.
show the owners.
No, why? Say I have a property.
Hanji.
Why will I give that data to you?
You will have to, when you're giving a house to me on rent, you're signing a rental agreement with me, correct?
Yeah.
You will also have to prove to me that this house belongs to you.
Yeah.
You have to give me electricity bill, your water bill,
I'll
whatever
give
it
it
is.
to my tenant. Why will I give it to tenant verify?
Exactly.
As an
Then, see,
entity.
I'm not saying you come to me. You can go to police station also directly, but nobody does it. The thing is, nobody is educated today. So my job first as a company is to educate the owner that this is mandatory, this is a subject. Tenants don't go to the police station or commission office because it's a tedious job. I have everything online for you.
So is this verification specific between a tenant-owner connection?
Exactly.
So
And
if
it's-
I am a tenant and let's say he's a landlord and he's also a landlord, today I want to stay at his place, I'll have to get a specific verification
Correct.
done.
Absolutely.
And then when I move to his place,
Again, you
I'll
have to get the
it
verification done. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if you stay for 2 months here and you shift, you have to get the verification done again.
Rohit, what's up?
Very honestly, I have zero understanding of this space. And I don't know, I cannot, like, just because it's something I don't understand very well, I would like to refrain from it. So for that reason, my stable is shut. I'm not sure. I think probably the way government is going, I have a contrarian view to it, that they might make it open in public domain.
Even if you make it, hold on.
So there is something called as DigiLocker.
It's just the database is open. You still have to manage the entire workflow.
The certification.
Right?
No, so
And the fact that you can go to one company, trust identify or trust verify, get a stamp. That's the opportunity we're talking about. Just because database is open, that doesn't mean
I'm not
anything.
talking about database being open. So
I mean, they'll have APIs that you can dig in. And
Police has apps.
yeah, and they have
Every
apps.
police,
They have apps.
every city police has apps.
I
but
know, and
nobody
I have
uses it.
used the.
In fact, that
I'm
is the
from Pune, I
opportunity.
have used my Pune city's app. It actually works, and
See,
I was
Pune,
surprised.
Mumbai is mandatory. You go to any society today, they will not allow you inside if you don't have a PCC.
Frequently,
Right.
So, no,
But
my,
others-
what I was saying is actually this whole verification part, that verification part itself is getting automated. So tomorrow, for me, all it might take is open my DigiLocker and I just press a button and I have a PCC certificate already. So government might provide that to me free of charge.
That's a good point. If the private market doesn't do it and if the government wants to go and do it, maybe, I don't know. But whether or not they're sustainable, I would still question that.
Let him counter that as well. Let him
You
counter that.
can verify like a PAN card. I verified a PAN card, I have the data. Criminal offense cannot be, it is updated. Today, I'm not a criminal today. I can become a criminal tomorrow. You have my record, you don't have, right? So it's an updation. So whenever criminal investigation is done, it's done on that moment. Not your history. History might be clean, but today you're wrong. What do you do? So that data can never be digitalized and kept as a,
Maybe,
solid
like I said,
evidence.
I don't have the understanding of this.
Same with CIBIL, no. Say CIBIL score changes every month. Right? You can't say I'm 780 today, I'll be spending next month also. So same thing happens, PCC also.
So you're stable
My
issued.
stable is shut.
So with this regard, after listening to everyone, like, yes, like Kevin ji proposed that, okay, background verification of employees and all could be a possible traction in future, also combining as your
We are
second
launching
product.
that in the next product.
As your second product. I would definitely like to explore the opportunities and definitely if the horses are in, why not as well?
I just want some, if you give some more knowledge on these companies, how they're working outside India and America and all. Similar companies.
See, there the data is.
Have you studied their the models?
Yeah, but see, the process what we follow here is a little different to like America. They have more.
No, I don't understand that.
See, they have a lot of other parameters,
Right.
which we don't follow here
For
in India.
example?
Like the social security number हो गया.
वो तो आधार number आ गया.
Correct. अब आ गया.
अब आया ना.
Okay. So we are also verifying Aadhaar,
Okay.
PAN card,
To do something.
address verification. It is part of the process.
Okay.
Apart from criminal.
Is there any country outside which is giving all the certification online?
Yes. So from what I understand, I'll tell you. So US does that. They have that OFAC list,
Okay.
which is
just go back
foreign
slide,
asset
I think show the
control
company.
and specifically designated nationals.
Right.
If you go there, you can just get anyone. So without paying anything, you can just go and do a check if they have any.
See, these are the companies who are, especially in USA. US is a major country which makes sure every eviction happens. Australia, in India, Hello Verify is doing it, but they're very, very expensive. So they're into total background verification, not only tenant.
Correct.
So as tenant verification in India, there's nobody. You can Google, you can do what you want. There's nobody in India.
Anuj, so I guess, if I have to just gather what has happened over the last 10, 12 minutes, sounds like there are horses interested. I don't think there's a deal per se on the table right now. But the fact that, I'm happy that there's actually interest to dig a bit deeper. If you're okay with it,
I'm okay.
let's do that offline. But as far as any handshake agreement or any handshake term sheet, we don't have that on the table.
No problem.
But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your work.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Pashin.
Good evening, my name is Aziz Burani. We represent Shashpa Technologies and we are here for an ask of 2.5 crores against 5% stake in the company. I'll start with the three most important things that anybody needs to know about a company before even engaging. That is the problem that we are here to solve, the solution that is on offer, and the competitive advantage or the competitive edge as one might like to call it. So the problem is, it's a ubiquitous problem. Everywhere around the world, there are millions of people who are financially inept. They don't have the financial aptitude to take financial decisions, and make right financial choices. Right? In India alone, there are 65 million such people who are in need of such a solution. They lack knowledge, they lack expertise, they lack skills, and as a result, they have to rely and depend on views, news, tips, and it still gets them nowhere. So overall, the bigger problem is that a lot of people waste a lot of, or rather spend a lot of time on the stock market, and they lose a lot of money, right? Almost 90% of the people, common investors, as statistics has it. Now, the solution on hand is using AI. We do what we call as molecular analysis. Now, what is molecular analysis is just like a digital camera. What it does is it takes a picture by bringing in millions of pixels together, right? And it creates a clear picture. So what Shashpa does is it does 8,500 calculations per stock per day, real time, and it brings it together to synthesize into 18 proprietary algorithms that we have developed in-house. And it gives the user the confidence and the conviction that he needs to in the stock market, right? There are 7 time frames in which the stock market is scanned. Starting from, it caters to the smallest trader, the person who is there for the smallest time frame, and right up to an investor who is there for 3 to 5 years time frame. The competitive advantage that we have is only Shashpa provides a 360-degree solution right from market analysis to market outlook, right? It is completely automated. There is no human intervention. There is no opinion, right? Sector and stock analysis, stock selection, it's a rating-based system, so it rates the stocks according to what it, according to what the algorithm tells it. Right? Money management and risk management, the risk analysis based on the user profile, and last but not the least, it provides clear entry and exit signals. So these are the advantages that we have.
This is the team. It's me, Aziz, and one more founder, Dr. Shoaib. All 3 of us highly experienced in the stock market. So this is what a few customers have to say about Shashpa. Somebody calls us the Google of stock market. Somebody says it's like a vehicle which has all the features. Somebody says I saved so and so amount of money today. Somebody says my daughter made 30,000. As on date, we have 5,800 users. We have 200 paid users. Now, this number could have been 25,000 today.
Your 200 paid users, who are they?
Yeah, they are traders. Some of them are investors. Some of them are brokers who have their clients. Some of them are research analysts, SEBI certified research analysts who use our platform to guide their clients. Yeah.
Right.
So what all does your platform do? You said it provides signals, number 1.
So starting with a market outlook, it tells you which direction the market is headed.
Yeah.
Going on to rating each and every stock, going on to rating all the sectors that are available. So it gives you a proprietary scanner, it gives you a customized scanner. It also lets you do your own analysis. So
Can you give me an example? I mean, go detail to detail.
Yeah.
So it rates longer term, short term.
Yes, long term, short term. So basically 7 different horizons.
ICICI, HDFC versus Yes Bank.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me a bit more?
Absolutely.
I want to know that.
But this is something, okay, before you explain, this is something already Zerodha is doing, right? So what is
not really. So this sits on
Almost
top
much
of
more
what
advanced.
Zerodha is doing from the analysis point of view. This sits on top. So this is the analysis part of the whole
the market intelligence part.
Market intelligence.
So-called market intelligence
Yeah.
part.
But I'm sorry, Vikas, I'm also aware of several companies that are doing it from several years. I'm possibly guessing much better than what you're doing at this point. With a larger user base. So 200 paid users is not a number that,
I'm sure.
It's a very large number. And
Absolutely.
these companies that are into algo-based, AI-based, automated trading have been around.
Automated
They are
trading
not
is
doing
totally
automated
different.
trading.
Sir. So it's at the 3rd level. Automated advisory comes at the 2nd level, and we are at automated analysis. So it's actually a 1st level analysis.
It is not algo trading, it is algo analysis.
If you were to white label the service,
Yeah.
and there's a fund house,
As a B2B, yeah. Absolutely.
they do not have to show your name, they still show their name.
Absolutely.
But then they can use that engine to provide service to their
Absolutely.
clients.
So there are several companies like Market Mojo, etc., who do that, and we are open to that. We are in talks with a few people, not just in India but also in Singapore. Just to clarify the whole thing here, the analysis that we do for one exchange, you would need a minimum of 200 analysts to do that job. Okay, so we are replacing that completely.
But India Bulls, for example, gives its market tips, whatever they say. Buy this, buy ICICI 275.
Yeah.
SL is 255.
Yes.
Target is this. So all of them are doing the same losses only. No. Okay. How do you differentiate that?
So, so
I mean, there are a lot of, just like you have the dark web in the internet, there
I'm
are
very
a lot
passionate about
of
the
dark
markets.
space as far as the market is
Very
concerned.
passionate about markets. That's
You
not
guys
problem for you.
understand
Yeah.
to the core.
So basically, we have with our system, like I said, we do price and volume analysis. There is also something called as volatility analysis. There is something called as momentum analysis. There is something called as trend analysis. There have been periods in our using our system, people have stayed away from the market for 4 months because the markets have been volatile.
We
and
call
that
it a
is
no
where
trade zone.
we call it a no trade zone. That is where people lose a lot of money. So that is
Can I
where
correct you-
Pashin
correct you on
said.
that?
Yeah, I'll just finish. That is why Pashin said that we cannot gel with the incumbent brokers because it does not serve their interest. They want people to trade. They want people to trade continuously. They don't care whether people burn out or they don't burn out. They want people to trade. So we are not looking, we are honestly, since the very beginning, we are not, like ma'am, you said, we are not looking to piggy bank on an incumbent. We can become angel broking, we can become financial technologies in the next 2-3 years.
that is
Moving on
why
to the
it's-
more objective side. So let's do
I'm
that
not
technical
able to
analysis. What has your
understand that
revenues been till date?
So, as I said, we
As in,
rolled
let
out
the numbers
6 months
speak,
back
right?
with whatever
Yeah, let the numbers
limited,
speak.
this we have about 200 paid users. Those users have paid us 5,000 rupees. We have about 10 lakhs in revenue so far.
So that's 5,000 rupees is per annum or per month?
Per annum per user.
I'm happy to call upon Horses here and seek what your thoughts are.
So given that you already have the domain knowledge because of your backgrounds, given that your development was in-house as well, the fact that you've spent 3 crores plus on the product so far, and the result is not reflecting that as of yet, for that reason my stable is shut.
Market is going single-handedly down or single-handedly up is a different thing. Market movements are so essential for people to get in and get out. And I also don't advise people trading on daily basis. In a given month, there'll be 4 trades. Maybe 4 trades, maybe 3 trades. Every day is not a trading day.
Yes,
Absolutely. But market movement is very, very crucial. If the market didn't move, you guys won't be here. Believe me on that.
Correct. You're right.
So I give it a pass. My stable is
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Rohit?
Let's take this whole thing where the market is becoming too volatile and you decide it's a no trade zone.
Yes.
Right now, the decision or the trigger of that, does the algorithm automatically adopt and change those trigger levels? Or is those things that are
Absolutely, everything is automated.
Absolutely.
There is no human intervention
automated
whatsoever.
is something different. I'm
Yeah,
asking
yeah, the
something
algos,
different.
yeah.
So that is where we use machine learning. So
Could it be that tomorrow, so let's say today if volatility, whatever that
Yes.
number is beyond 10, it claims no trade zone.
Right.
But however, tomorrow, even at
Absolutely.
10.5, it might say you trade.
Absolutely.
But without any human intervention to it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We can retire in the Bahamas if that's your question, and the software will still work.
Open, closed.
or contemplating.
If what they are saying is a really tall claim to make, I don't know. I'd rather advise then if you guys can actually achieve that,
Yeah.
you could make much
That's
more
part
money
of the
going
plan,
B2B rather than B2C.
Absolutely.
I don't see your strengths lying in the B2C domain very honestly.
They could go and sell those reports, is what you're saying.
No.
Those
They could
reports.
just start selling signals as in
Yeah, the MI, the so-called market
Basically,
intelligence.
What I
integration
feel
into
is that these guys definitely know what they're doing it. I mean, I could see, and we haven't seen the dashboard, haven't seen the analysis, and there is no, we haven't seen the validation as well. But as I said, that what you're claiming, we haven't experienced, so that's why we are just explaining.
we would love for all of you to use the app. It's free for the first 3 months. So
We definitely do that.
yeah, I
We will
suggest.
definitely do
I'll
that.
definitely do that. By the way, coming back to the point,
Yeah.
again, having said that, I think definitely at a valuation level,
The valuation level.
my stable is shut purely because of that.
So I haven't asked Vikash here.
So with respect to the validation on whatever you claim,
Yeah.
and of course, if there is a negotiation still open for evaluation,
Yeah.
then we might look forward. But still, I would like to take it offline and then wanted to discuss.
We would love
So
to do that.
one thing, and I have to speak this. I see this company in fundraising mode for the next couple of rounds very soon, which basically tells me that either you find an institutional investor who buys into this right now and is willing to take you guys upfront. Angel investors, you guys will be in that mode. That's just my feeling. I hope you can prove me wrong, right? But you guys are nodded as well that you guys have been in fundraising.
You're right. You're absolutely
So
And Nilesh, I'll just say that is so true. What you're saying, what I understand from the model, and for that matter, what I was initially talking about, that why can't you, and you said that maybe you are concerned for big stock exchange for companies. I don't feel that. I mean, I would be happy to put you across to the biggest stock market players.
We are not closed. I mean, we are absolutely open.
I think they can definitely, if
there is
they would love it.
What you got?
Yeah.
okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, Horses. My name is Paul. I'm a co-founder with TraceCost. Now, TraceCost, as it says, is a SaaS cloud-based B2B platform for project management in the construction industry. We're looking at an early stage investment of $80,000. So in the presentation, what you'll find in the next 5 minutes, we're going to briefly touch base the problem. We're going to use the data from renowned resources, also talking about validating that data. We'll also talk about the solutions, and then briefly why us, and about our team as well. What we start is with certain data for today, which is 2019, and talk about roughly a decade later, which is 2030. To start with basic figures, we are roughly at about 7.7 billion as population. We'd see a slight increment till 8.1 billion by 2030. But what's interesting is the second figure. What you see is about 4.4 billion digital population, people who are savvy with digital enabled technology. Now that's roughly about 50%, slightly over 50%. But by 2030, what you see across industries is going to be at 7.5 billion, which is roughly about 90+%. So therefore now when you correlate this to the construction industry, what you see is with the McKinsey report, Reinventing Construction Technology, they said that we have losses of about $1.6 trillion every year. Now, with the kind of ingress of project management softwares, it is so less that the World Economic Forum looks at it doubling by 2030, which is $3 trillion. What also you can look at, which is the second last data, that the construction industry net worth today is $10.6 trillion. Now, interestingly, it goes by 50% in the next decade and so on. So what our point here is, to summarize, what we're saying is the industry, which is today at $10.6 trillion, bleeds about 10 to 30% due to mismanagement and inefficiency within the project management sector. Now, there's a dark side and a bright side to it. On the dark side, while we've spoken about the $1.6 trillion loss, the reason for that, one of the majority reason for that is that all the technology that comes into real estate construction division is always on the equipment, on the type of construction that we may do, in terms of the designing strategies that we may have. But what we forget between the design and the construction is the project management. And therefore, if you look at this data, where again they say the ingress of project management softwares is only and only 2% world over. Now, what that translates, when you look at a large capital project, that would typically overrun by its time by 20% and by 80% of its project cost. Isn't that a very normal figure that we see in news all the time at public sector and private sector projects as well? But there's a brighter side as well. When you look at the brighter side, that we are looking at that project management industry growing 3 times in the next 1 decade. What that would mean is that we will reach also by 95% of digital population. So therefore, if we are able to present that solution to the industry, which controls in the Indian market context as well, controls about 10% of the GDP. So therefore, that the volume is huge. At that in infrastructure, 80% are public sector projects such as road, dams, and a lot of other buildings. That 20% of private sector market is also huge. These are players which take quick decisions and adopt to newer technology much quicker. So therefore, with our past experience as well, we also started to work out with another firm, a large-scale firm which does about 3,000 crores of contracting works annually, goes by the name of ACIL. So we've rolled out a pilot project in Kolkata and in Odisha with them for one of their Vedanta projects that they're doing, an infrastructure project.
You've got Asanas of the world and the Atlassians of the world and the workflow management tools of the world, maybe even Microsoft tools of the world for project management. What is so different about you, specifically in the construction industry, that all of these folks, they talk about tech. Well, there is nothing techy per se. Microsoft project management tools, now Atlassian with Asana, it's just has been around. So what is it that you are doing?
Now, we do understand the workflow processes of this organization. Also, we do understand that until and unless these processes are simplified, the junior management, the guy on the site, is not going to be able to work on that software. And therefore, what we've done, while you look at the desktop version, you see a lot of dashboard and a lot of data and what is relevant for a mid-management or a senior management. Similarly on a tab as well. But when you go to a mobile application, the dashboard is very, very simple.
Okay, Gaurav, before you explain this,
Yes.
there's a problem, which is a very serious problem that why there is there's not a technology implementation in India real estate infrastructure is the illiteracy, actually.
Absolutely.
So whoever are the vendors and whoever is handling the entire management, they're illiterate. They don't want to feed in the data. They're happy to scribble on the papers. They won't feed it in the data. So how will you cater that? Because I understand the platform and all, but that is still a gap where you'll face.
So we partly agree and disagree, and I'll tell you why. Both. We agree the illiterate part, and they're not able to do it. But if you were able to give them, for example, now with smartphones, a simple from messaging to a WhatsApp, the transition's been very easy. Now that happens because if the platform given to them is very, very basic, the transition's very smooth. However, will they be willing to do it or not? Absolutely they will be willing. Because what happens, whenever there's a delay for even a day, it has a cascading effect on the project by another 2 days. And therefore, when you go on the second day and you have another day delay, you've gone out by 4 days. And that's which explains why projects get derailed. However, wherever the blame comes, it's either on the junior or the mid-management, right? Now, but if you have a dashboard where the reporting is absolutely clear, if I was to be a guy on the side, and then you were a mid-management guy, and then he was the senior management, if I was to give you a site picture, give you a proof of evidence, write in my data what I'm supposed to do, a very basic information on site, if I face any challenge in terms of material not being on site, warehousing issues, transportation, logistic issues, my job is only to inform. Now it's your job to ensure that you take that particular action. Now if you do not, our portal gives in a notification after, let's say, 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever the time that we say, give you a tolerance of beyond that if it goes, it gets escalated to the person next and up in your hierarchy.
What is the amount you've invested so far?
So we've invested about 45 lakhs ourselves.
That's your own money?
That's our own money.
And who handles the tech in the team?
CTO is Sunny Vora. In fact, he's also present with us today. So he's also flown down. And the third co-founder is Madhvi. So she's not in India at the moment and therefore could not make it.
Well, can I ask you one last candid question? For me, team is, for me, in my investment thesis, team is like number one priority.
Great.
Is Madhvi related to any one of you in any form?
So yes, it is. She is related to me.
As
my wife.
Okay. And why is she not pitching and why?
That is, so now we get it. She's right now in Calgary.
Why is she not pitching?
So she's in Calgary.
Out of India.
She went there. This was also something that I spoke to you about some time back.
They carry their own profiles.
Yeah, they carry their own.
So let me, now that we understand the big picture, what's going on in your minds about whether or not this is an investable situation.
To be blunt, I would like to go for it.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Provided that I'll definitely have to sit across, understand the technology and the platform.
Okay.
And yes.
All right, Vikas, thank you. Kevin?
So I'm interested in as well, except for two things. One is I understand you have enough going on outside of this, right? So I do not know if you're really invested, blood, tears into the game, right? This is another thing that you're doing. If it works out, fine. If not, so I need to see that kind of involvement, one.
Right.
Second is I'll like to keep a contingency of your first pilot being successful.
Right.
So based on that contingency, I'm interested to partner with.
And also there will be a technology strategy which I feel, there has to be some tweaking in the technology front. So which I'll be also looking out, to
So fortunately, Sunny was also pretty keen on meeting you and understanding on the tech part. So if it allows post this as well, we'll be happy to give you all the details that you may need.
Sure.
And I'm happy to also share the further details for the contract as well.
All right, thank you. Preeti? Oh, Trupti, sorry.
That's okay. So, Sunny, like Paul, this looks amazing. The team, the only concern even I have, because I've come across Trupti founders, cash rich, very well, everything is fine. But the kind of dedication and how quickly will you leave this is the biggest concern at the moment.
Sure.
Otherwise, this definitely, is of interest. I would like to explore strategically how we can,
synergize on this.
Synergize with you.
So for us, we are as good as our word today. Only time can eventually tell you, and you can take a feedback on our past track record of how we've built.
No, I
That's
think
fair.
I
Just
think
because of your situation,
Right.
you don't have to kind of keep proving.
Yeah,
but I'm
no,
sure it will keep coming up, and that's a fair
Absolutely.
point. I think every party has to do what they have to do to make themselves feel comfortable. Absolutely no problem. So I understand.
and I
your
think
concern.
Kevin point of I'm sync with him about your implementation of your current project,
Right.
and we would be quite keen.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you so much.
You got 3 yeses. Let's see what Rohit has in mind. He is the real
He's the
estate guy
real
here.
estate
Well, we heard that on the previous pitch.
So no, beyond whatever the other horses mentioned,
Right.
I feel the product market fit till now isn't established well enough.
No, not yet.
And it's way too early for me to participate.
We
And
should
for
take
that
the-
reason, my stable is shut. And
So Rohit, your
My
stable
stable
is
is
shut?
shut, yeah.
Okay. Will your stable be open in the next round? Possibly.
I wouldn't mind checking them up
Checking
again
you-
because,
Yeah.
like I said,
So,
I still
yeah.
don't believe
As a
in the
part of
product
investor
market fit.
report, I would suggest we should keep
we
Rohit
certainly-
updated.
we look forward to
Mohit,
that.
where are you?
Or like I said, right, for me, product is one side, team is utmost importance, right?
Right.
And I've had in the past bad experiences when husband and wife work under the same roof.
Right.
So, if things go south, which I would never pray for you that to ever happen for you,
Right.
but if they do go south, then things just spectacularly fail.
Right.
And, you've clearly got the right connects to do this all by yourself. I don't add value in this space for you because I'm not a real estate person. And given the fact that these 3 guys are investing, for me, a 10-20 lakh rupee check any which way was no fun to do. So for those reasons, my stable is shut. But I'm happy to, kind of just stay in touch and, open some connects for you on a pro bono basis. That's fine.
So offline, that's what the chat we had. So we would
Exactly.
respect that if we do get an opportunity to also explore at multiple other clients beyond our horizon.
Our group entity is one of the largest realty guys within the western side of India. Happy to bring you on board because I think we need a solution like this. So happy to just get at least the right audience for you, and then you guys can figure it out from there.
We're really happy, and thank you so
So
much.
Paul, one more comment I just want to
Please,
make.
please come.
I know you probably know that as much as I do. The product that would work in India is not the product that will serve US market or a Western country. The challenges are completely different.
Absolutely.
So if you're thinking that you're going to build something that would work here and then you're going to use that same product or tool to sell it in a Western market,
Right.
I do not think that's going to happen.
Not absolutely.
Let's try to wrap this up, Paul. I think this
We
was
will.
great news.
No,
We got
thank you so
3
much.
horses interested. Let's talk about the note and the dynamics of
Absolutely.
what
So
you are
suppose that
constructing.
we'll
So
have
we'll
a
help you on that.
You want
But,
to get individual comments?
And I'm also happy to answer that note.
yeah,
also.
I mean, I'm assuming between the 3 of you, you guys can take care of the 55
Yeah, so
lakh
that's something we
ask,
can
right?
explore.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Paul,
much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Nilesh.
These were our today's contestants with their amazing and unique ideas. Many more to come. So stay tuned and watch our next episode. And if you think your idea have the ability to impress our horses, this table is open for you. Keep chasing your dreams.